so on. Now, when we start talking about mid-80s and rock and then everything that comes from that, say progressive metal of today and all of this sort of stuff, one of the most important styles in metal drumming is being able to change your speeds, okay? What happens is when you're playing in any particular funk band, people get very proud of holding the groove, and probably the king of that is Clyde Stubblefield from the James Brown era and all that sort of stuff. Funky drummer. Not that I'm playing the actual funky drummer lick. And you'd hold that for 9 minutes, you know, while everyone's grooving out and all that sort of stuff. Not in metal. What you do is you have to get to know your rates. And what a rate is where you're actually, say, playing back to the quavers again, back to the start of these episodes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and quavers there. And then what happens is that you think of rates like semi-breves, which are 4 beats each, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and dead slow beat. I'm just thinking the Melvins now. That's a Dale Crover kind of thing. Can you feel the bang, ding, ding, bang, ding, ding, doodle-dum, boom, bang, da-da-da, up, and I've often done shows about fast notes inside slow tempos and all that sort of stuff. That's just something that can be really grungy. It's in a semi-breve rate, you know, sort of thing. Whole notes is the American lingo. Then you can go to the typical halftime, which is minims. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2. It feels twice as fast, but it still comes across as slow. That's the typical sort of funky kind of a thing there, but as a metal drummer, you still need to know your speeds. Then, of course, we're into normal basic rock, which is crotchet rates. You can play very fast, but it's still a crotchet rate. Then, of course, there's cut time, which is based on quavers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da-da-da-da-da-da. Shouldn't do that. Now, this is the land of punk. And that's the land of, say, Van Halen or any kind of metal thing coming off from that. But so on. And then the land of the blast beat. Now I'll do this slowly. What happens is it's a single stroke roll. To start off with, put the bass drum on every right hand. Put the right hand on a hi-hat and go crazy. Single stroke roll with hands and feet, unison. Same deal, but with the most raucous cymbal you've got. you go. So that's a blast beat. What happens then is that you can put them all together, because the wonderful thing about metal drumming of all genres, whether it's death metal, grunge metal, this metal, refrigerator metal, as Ozzy Osbourne once said, there's so many categorizations, sort of thing. I always remember that. That was a very funny interview. That was back in the No More Tears days. There you go. That was a great album. Anyway, there you go. But what happens is that if I go through those speeds, okay, oh, all my screws are coming loose. God help me. 3 and 4 and 1 and semi-breathe. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Half time, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and minim. Normal. Crotchet. Cut. Bluff. There you go. You see, that's what happens there. So that's cut time and blast beat and all that. You're right. You put the song and you put the listener. I love feeling like you're going up and down a roller coaster. That's what makes metal so vibrant. And I would hazard a guess that I would say the current metal genre is the one genre where I find that it's still moving forward all the time. So much stuff has become freeze-dried package, press a button on GarageBand, get the groove. I've seen plenty of clips on Rage where I know that sound, it's on my GarageBand, thing. You know, people loop a basic thing and just go with it, rap over the top, and that's fine, that's cool, that's the genre and people love it. But metal, people are always pushing forward. And one of the things about metal, death metal, even the screamo stuff, which is sometimes a little bit hard to handle perhaps or whatever, you peel that layer away and you're left with a unit like the guitar, bass and drums, and the drummer in particular, you have to train at it like an athlete would, sort of thing. When you're in a metal band and you're sitting there all night doing this, man, that's work. And this is what this show is about, because some people say, it's all rubbish, it's just all screaming over the top. Yeah, sometimes it is, sort of thing. But that's part of the genre. But you listen to the drummer behind and the guitarist and some of these things. It's one of these things that happens sometimes, like probably one of my favourite Metallica songs is Harvester of Sorrow off the And Justice for All album. And you take away the distortion and you replay that on, classical guitar, you'll be forgiven for thinking you're doing a flamenco piece. And I've actually done a show on that, and that actually happened at a school once. I got told off as the music teacher, Chris, why are you teaching them all this rubbish? If you keep teaching them Enter Sandman, maybe we have to find another guitar teacher, because I teach guitar as well. So I said, sure, fine. I'll teach them some other classical stuff. So at the school concert, I had two of my guys come up and play excerpts from Harvester of Sorrow. And I got, same person, never forget it, mid-90s, came up and said, oh, they played wonderfully well. What was the name of that song again? I said, Harvester of Sorrow, Metallica, 1988. There you go. So stick that in your hat, sort of thing. So much double standards, all that sort of stuff. But anyway, there you go. But anyway, so that's what goes on there. So I hope tonight's show, I better go to a break, I suppose. I hope tonight's show, as scatterbrained as it is, and couple of little cymbal technical malfunctions that happened before, that was quite interesting. In between all that, you're getting a lot of information. Okay, more after the break.